Beep, 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 beep. Hello, hello. We are live. Hex Foodies Telegram, Hex Foodies, where? Like Telegram, YouTube, Facebook. We're still doing a little bit of Facebook. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. We've got a little bit of content coming out there. HEXrayvision just did a video this last week, or he finished one up. It's pretty badass. I loved it. I was like really excited, but I was also one of the stars. So we went out to we went on a field trip to the middle of Utah back after Vegas, and you should check it out. And you should join the Hex Foodies Telegram group and get that link there. So what I'm going to do is just go over what's been going on in the Telegram chat and just derive some content out of that. Hopefully some of my co-parts will join me through this. Excuse me for my short-windedness and maybe my scratchy voice, and maybe I'll take some moments to cough away from the microphone. I got hit last week right after the stream with some allergies, and one of the nights, oh my gosh, I was basically fasting to get through a allergy smack, and I've allowed it to just linger. So, but I got my construction mustache and I got my construction hat on because Hex has been getting rid of some of the weak hands. It's pretty interesting being a Hex OG watching this, because you watch the shoreline and you watch the waves just come and go, and they beat up that shore. But in crypto, it's like there's deposits on the shore, and I don't really know how to describe it. I wanted to talk about stalagmites and stalactites. Just this, every time you have a wave, you have an amount of people who stay and get it and pay attention. And so we just have to endure these over and over. I am not surprised at all. It's amazing where the price is right now. It was amazing where the price went recently. It's amazing what attention the crypto markets have gotten lately, and we're right in the middle of it. We Hexicans. Hex Foodies is exclusively Hexicans. If you're not a Hexican, you probably don't even have the time to participate with us. That's where I'm coming from. So this is episode, what episode is this? This is episode number 14, arguably number 15, 16. So we've been going 14 weeks straight. We're live on Tuesdays at noon. Actually, I missed 1 week. Sorry about that. Around 10 weeks, I got, sniped myself or jinxed myself. So Tuesdays at noon, you're welcome to join us. We call ourselves Hex Foodies to broaden the perspective, or to broaden the amount of people that we could connect with. But the idea here is to promote like back to the land type thinking, having your property or knowing the future of the property that you're working on, just basically not having the shit sold out from under you, and you prospering, you and your family, and having a healthy lifestyle, and a nice one that you can recognize dare I say, the creator. You can meditate to yourself, why am I here on this earth? That's what I envision this Hex Foodies group, I guess, focusing, analyzing. And I believe that the trail to this type of lifestyle can be illuminated with the help of friends. And I do know that there are people who there are Hexicans who want this sort of thing, don't necessarily understand how to get it or even take the first step. I am having conversations with people in and out of the Hex community about this sort of thing. Keep in mind that people who aren't yet Hexicans are future Hexicans. Be nice to them. They will join your religion. Just give it time. So, Richard Hart is going to lead us to prosperity. He is going to guide you to the safest route to not get slaughtered by the, you know, by the forces out there in the world who continue to mine our energy from us. If I don't talk fast enough for you, go ahead and turn it to 1.5 speed if you're watching live. I apologize. So I'm live here alone. I'm going to start going over the Telegram group. Please hit the like button, subscribe, maybe notification bell. I should be on Hex Streamers right now, up there at the top. So over at the Telegram group, I see that Finnbear posted where it was that he bought the supplement C60, and that's pretty interesting. And we had a new Benjamin Mutton. He is new to the group. I chatted with him for a second. He seems like he's got a lot of energy and a lot of knowledge ready to sprout on this group. I hope that he keeps anteing up the information. He's talking about past civilizations and the geology that we have found. Well, geology? Yeah. The archaeology that we have found about past civilizations and how they cut into, even though it was an arid landscape, they cut channels into the bedrock in order to deliver, kind of like rain gutters, the water to places that they wanted it. So even though there wasn't soil to capture the rainwater and allow it to sink into the ground surface and go into aquifers and feed your plants from below and become sprouts later, springs later on. He shared with us something where, like, exactly what I just said, the bedrock was carved into creating gutters, like gutters on the side of your building or the side of your house, off the side of your roof. So these gutters acted like aqueducts in transporting the water exactly where it was that they wanted it in the city so many thousand years ago. That was really interesting to me. I also see an image of, I'll go ahead and switch so that you can see it too. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want my face to be big. Share screen. Share a different screen. Share a window. This is not the easiest thing. If I minimized a window, it won't allow me to share the window, so I need to reopen it. Finnbear, come save me. And come tell me what you think of my mustache. Hex is at 19 cents. It's bounced back after reaching 15.7 or so, high 15s. That's pretty interesting. All right. Now I've completely forgotten what it was that I was doing. All these warning messages. You're about to save your screen. Are you sure you want to do that? Yes, I do. Okay. Are you able to see it? Yes, you are. All right. There's this new feature where I can share screen on the entire thing, and then I can put myself inside of that shared screen as opposed to putting myself on the side of the shared screen. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we're looking at the Telegram group right now. By the way, if you're a Texan, please join me in HEXTexas Telegram group. So this here was a YouTube that was, we're often sharing YouTube videos. And I love how Telegram allows you over on the margins to see all the photos, all the singleized videos, the individualized videos, the shared links. That would be where all the YouTube videos are. I love it how they bunch them and list them off to the side. That's so awesome. And then GIFs, all the dancing fun stuff. GIFs. I need to learn how to make some GIFs. Put that on my to-do list. So this YouTube video right here, inside of a very arid climate, somebody was pointing out that they can now see mushrooms popping up, just little bits of mushrooms here and there. And they're really excited because that allows them to know that a fungi city is being created, a netting that you can't lay yourself. You're laying it beforehand, and then you're laying other things on top of it. So you're laying a woody layer inside there somewhere, allowing moisture to get to it. And naturally, it'll be inoculated already with fungi of some sort. And it'll just start breaking down just slowly. And this mesh will exist. And something that I pointed out last time when we were in conversation is just like the crypto blockchains, where everything is below the surface. However, there are transfers of units happening, and that is a communication of sorts, right? A communication of nutrients. Units of nutrients are being passed underneath the surface with fungi. Things that we can't see. However, it's just like freedom of speech and voting rights. They can freely transfer this stuff. And because it's happening, it is communication. This next video, I think what happens here is there was so much rain runoff when these people did get rain. And so they analyzed their slopes. They were allowed to work within like 90 acres, I believe. And so they slowly green this place. And the best shots that this place has is a bunch of grass, basically. Grass blowing in the wind. Its seeds were showing, and they were golden, and it was blowing in the wind, and there was like a hue of green, blue, and purple against the sunlight. It was really cool. It didn't look as awesome as I thought it was gonna. And the soil you never see like a darker soil. And so I'd really like to see an update on this as it matures further. I think they were talking about focusing on more trees now that they've got like a baseline amount of hydration going through the landscape. I forgot what my key points were for this one, but if I had some really awesome ones, I would have put it into the chat anyway. A lot of people have been joining the chat. We've got 68 members. I think we had 69 at one point. I bet one person had to peel off just to laugh. So I think what happened here was Rogue Herbalist, he wanted to show us where Jack Spirko was in his crypto thinking. And he is definitely a Bitcoiner. I think he is very open-minded, and it is just an amount of time before we have a lot of permaculture people coming into crypto world. Let's keep our posture for this big event to happen. I'm really excited. And Finnbear, a contribution of a pick, resistance is fertile. Go ahead and create your garden. Plant fruit trees around. Do food, not lawns. Plant food all the way up to the edge of the street. Maybe work on a project that shows off that you're a food grower, that you care about this sort of thing. I encourage you. That's what I'm doing here on my 0.1 acre. I'm right next to the downtown of my hometown. I'm in a place where I feel really comfortable amongst my peers. And hell, I'm a Hexican, so it's time to shine. It's time to allow people to see what life can be like. And so lead by example. I've got something like 10 fruit trees, and I got another 10 coming soon. And I'll put those guys in the ground, and I'll look back often because I'll think that it's beautiful, and I'll look for growth. But I'll also look forward to seeding more and planting more, and what can I get my hands on, and can I make a solar food dehydrator? Can I make an outdoor oven? Can I make a patio to sit with friends and visit, build community, enjoy my life? I've been struggling my whole life. Everybody's been telling me that I'm wrong for so long, and it feels so good to have some validation to my thoughts. Thank you so much, Richard Hart, for creating Hex and guiding us, teaching us, creating something that people can look forward to. They can focus elsewhere and build their lives while they trust that what they have done in the Hex community is safe and sound, permanent, immutable contract on the Ethereum blockchain. Ethereum blockchain is soon to be copied, meaning forked or a industry term, forked, complete copy from that point on. So all of the past is copied over to what we are going to call the pulse chain. The pulse chain will have your staked hex. It will have your liquid hex. So therefore you have a copy, and we can go forward with that. So we have a new member, Hex Rockstar. Thank you so much for your contributions. Hex Rockstar often puts large text contributions at a time. So those were nice because I could actually like start and stop, catch up on my messages, and then stop at his long-winded ones. So my dad mentions similar things as what Hex Rockstar does with the K2 in the MK7 format. That's a supplement. I believe with my dark skin complexion, I'm able to just go outside and get enough vitamin D. But if you're as pale as Richard Hart, you might need to go outside as well as buy some supplements, vitamin D. I was gonna go somewhere tangent with that. I'm wondering where my co-parts are. Will I even know if they show up? Oh, Finnbear, you ready to come on? Awesome.
Hey man,
welcome.
I've been here for a while.
I'm sorry.
I was getting pretty anxious, like, oh my god, what if he can't see me? So sorry, I'm on my phone. I sent a message. I had a bit of a car issue I had to take care of, and didn't have time to make the bed, so I didn't want to see let you guys see all the mess over there. So I just took my phone and took off. Try to scare the kids quiet, but to no avail, it seems.
So I think that everybody I communicate with these days, I have a telepathic or a spiritual connection with. I was going to ask you, how much driving do you do over there in your country?
A lot.
Really? Okay.
I got my work practice is about 40 kilometers from here. So that's like, how much would that be in miles? 40 kilometers is like maybe 22 miles, 25 miles one way. And yeah, Finland is a long country, like north-south, in the north-south direction. So yeah, we've got long distances where there's if you like to drive around in in the woods, Finland is the place for you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're used to long distances. It sounds funny at times when the guys are like talking about maybe going to a meetup because it's a 3 hours drive. I don't know, it's pretty far. Like a 3 hours drive. I used to drive 3 hours like when I was a teen, just to go out and get pissed with some mates.
To get what?
Just to get drunk with some buddies,
Oh yeah.
But you've got all kinds of new gear there, man. Microphone.
Gear.
New microphone.
I've had the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Maybe just I'm wearing a different shirt today instead of my camo vests.
Are you wearing a hard hat as well, or is it some kind of a filter?
No, it was a hard hat.
It was a real hard hat.
It was the same hard hat I pulled out that other day because like we're reconstructing society.
Yeah.
But
I found like a yellow hoodie, which is pretty out of my regular style. I wear like all shades of black you can think of, and like blue jeans. But now I'm wearing my yellow hoodie. This is close enough to the hex colors that the hex gradient that I could come up with.
Indeed.
Yeah. So do you see anything new? Like, like you noticed that I trimmed
You
the
did?
beard.
Yeah.
Trimmed it
Look what
back
I
a bit.
did.
Yeah. Oh, you did the same thing, man. That's funny. These things happen like simultaneously. Oh, but you left a nice
Oh yeah.
mustache though. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mustache is like the best thing a guy can give himself.
My
If
girlfriend's
he
been out of town, and she
ah
suggested that she might think it's sexy, so I'm gonna give her this view. I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Like check this out, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like that who's that?
She likes
Yeah.
eclectic things.
Yeah. Who's that actor from the 70s? Like Tom Selleck, that type of like really
Oh,
beefy
yeah.
mustache. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's silly for me to admit, but back when my mustache was first growing, like back in college, I plucked a lot of it because
Oh,
I got tired of certain things, and I think it like stunted it, and so now it's coming out at my older age.
yeah, kids, don't pluck your mustache.
Don't pluck your
Let it.
mustache; it'll
Yeah,
make you cry.
yeah. Later, at the time, and also later.
Yeah,
No,
because
it's
like
horrible.
if
I
it is
used
that
to.
it isn't growing in here, don't
Yeah.
pluck it. Add vitamin D. Have you ever done that? Add vitamin D to any portion of your body that you want to regenerate hair growth.
I've no, I've not heard of this.
So I used to work. Let's see. I used to work for oil, and I had a room to myself drafting, and they brought in a temporary person one time. So that means that they would they would hire them, of course, temporary, but they they didn't have to give them retirement benefits and things like that,
Yeah.
or healthcare benefits and stuff. And so this person right next to me was a black person, and she and I got into conversations in depth about our lives, and she started telling me that she had used so many of modern day hair products, and she was starting to go bald up here. And I
Mm,
told her like try going natural, because I hear that this plagues your race. No offense. And you know, because a lot of things are happening. And she said, yeah, I have talked amongst my peers, and this is happening amongst us.
yeah.
And so she started going natural with all our hair products, and then she started adding vitamin D oil,
Mm,
and her hair started coming back. She was so
that's
excited.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
It's a great story.
Like a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them this, but you actually don't need shampoo at all. Like
Oh yeah.
you can wash your hair with soap, like
Hmm.
with like I've washed my hair with stuff that some people use to wash their floors, and it's perfectly fine. The it's like it's made from this pine oil. Surprise, surprise, we have a lot of it over here with the sawmill industry and stuff. So it's like a soap that is made out of pine. It's perfectly good for washing your hair. And the thing is, it is a bit rough feeling when you wash it, but then the sort of the natural sort of what would you call it, oiliness, or like the grease that exudes from your skin, it takes care of the roughness of and the feeling, and you don't have to use hair conditioners at all, which I believe are really the worst thing you can put on your head is hair conditioner, because the only reason why people would have to use hair conditioner is because they use too much shampoo. So just get rid of the shampoo, wash your hair with soap, and your hair is going to be a lot thicker and it's going to look a lot nicer.
Yeah. I haven't gotten my washing my hair routine well enough yet. I'm using soap. I use shampoo maybe like once a month. And I know that my diet needs to change more so that what comes out of my scalp can be controlled, because I do think that I have just a little bit too much yeast in my system or something.
So does it?
So I'm a little bit
So
flaky up here.
yeah, and it goes a
Mm.
bit dry, and then like if you scratch it, you get like this gunk under your fingernails.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, that sounds like too much shampoo or too much stuff in your hair.
Well, it's the lack of cleaning it, and so I'm pretty sure that it's what I put in my body. It's my digestion. It's what already grows up here. What's already infected, I guess,
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
this place.
yeah. It could be some kind of a yeasty thing, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and to help people out who would be new to this idea, is like we've inside of our body all over the place, we're storing toxins, or we're getting by, we're limping along. So like we all have issues somewhere.
One thing that I can say, like with a month of experience, is just not eating candy is like it's perfect for anybody. Like just stop eating any kind of sweets. I've not eaten sweets for like a month now. I've lost like 6 kilos or something. I eat
Wow.
regularly. I've not exercised any more than what I sort of do when I'm working. But yeah, just it just sort of burned off me. Where did you go, man?
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, you went all Michael Jackson, dropped your nose. Oh my God.
Whoa, whoa. Well, the funny thing is when you blow your nose and you have a mustache and you're on camera,
Oh yeah, I know that can be really nasty.
let's get all
Yeah,
that glossy stuff
mm,
off.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what I could have all sorts of crumbs here. Oh man, the crumb gate was hilarious.
So after Halloween, do y'all celebrate Halloween, like door to door,
No, no,
candy and stuff? Okay.
we celebrate Easter. We have this tradition where everybody dresses up like a witch, and
Oh,
then we have these. It's made of willow. They take these willow. We take willow twigs. They're completely frozen and hibernating still during Easter. We collect willow twigs and decorate them with these like feathers and whatever stuff, and then you keep them in a you keep them in like in water, and willows grow these furry things when they like during spring. These long, we call them uh, pajungissa, which means like willow's cat, or like a pussycat of the willow, which is like, yeah, so it becomes like a really nice thing that the kids come over. They have this sort of semi magical thing that they reside, and they do the thing with the twigs, and then you're supposed to give them like a couple of euros or some candy. Then they give them to you as gifts. It was a Christian tradition back in the day, and still in Eastern Finland, where there's more more of the Orthodox Christians. They have a different kind of a verse that they say when they do, but still the thing is pretty similar all over the country. So that's what we do house to house. But over the
there,
last, say, 8 years or 10 years, I've seen Halloween pick up. Like even grown ass people have Halloween parties, and yeah, we had a Halloween party with the kids. They invited some of their friends over, and we just yeah, we just decorated the house real spooky, and everybody was wearing a costume, and yeah, it was lots of fun. But like as traditions go, my Pizza Friday is a tradition that has lasted longer than Halloween over here in Finland. I have pizza every Friday, but I've had that for like maybe 12 years now.
What kind of crust do you like? Like, what kind of, I mean, like made up of buckwheat or cauliflower?
No, just regular wheat.
Okay.
And I like it. It doesn't matter if it's thick or if it's thicker. But one thing that I try to make sure is, to me, the crust is a success if you can lift the slice up and it doesn't sort of go like this, so that it can hold its weight when you lift it up and start to eat it. See if I can find a nicer position. This is really like I'm getting a strange vibe from doing this over my phone and on the sofa. This is like weird. But yeah, I guess still I didn't want to leave you hanging, man. I as soon as I got in, I opened my phone. My buddy called me, and I was like, yeah, sure, that's like nice and important and stuff. But my mate is streaming, and he's waiting for me, and I see he's suffering, man.
Suffering. So,
Of
are
course,
you
you weren't suffering, but you
are
know.
you back home, or are you at the auto place
No,
getting a
back
car
home
fixed?
already. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
I
your
just
car
had
is
some
done.
battery. Yeah, I just had some battery issues, but I fixed it.
So Reggie thinks that there might be some sugar in the bread.
Not in our bread, no.
Not in his
Of
bread.
course,
Okay.
like yeah, wheat has like carbohydrates in it, but that's different. We don't have any sugar in our bread.
Hey
We
Reggie,
don't
you want to
have
hop
like,
on?
yeah, hop on, Reggie. We we
Let
we
me
barely
see.
have any salt in our bread either. Like our bread is pretty tasteless because for some strange reason, uh, when the officials say that uh, we crunched some numbers, and if you have like 0.2% less salt in a kilo of bread, that's good for like the national health averages. So all the bakeries are like, okay, we're gonna drop off salt from our bread. So now we have bread that doesn't taste like anything.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's horrible. The
Mm.
freaking idiots. Like, why would you? Yeah, there's bread in like when you make if you make like a sourdough out of rye, you need to have salt in it because otherwise it's absolutely horrible. So there's like breads that have salt in it, but still you can taste that it's not as salty, and it's quite horrible if there's no salt in bread.
Yeah. So the reason why I asked you about sugar or changing getting away from eating sweets or anything with sweets, your comment about that was, um, just like New Year's resolutions, I think that people are right here at after Halloween and they're like, oh, I just ate a bunch of sweets. Now I need to get over this phase, get away from it before the other gorging holidays come up, like the end of the end of November for us is Thanksgiving. The end of
Yeah,
December is Christmas.
yeah.
And then at the end of December, then typically people think about their weight and starting their new year, um, with their New
Mm.
Year's resolution of losing weight.
Yeah, that's why January is the best month for gym memberships.
Oh, yeah. I've had some gyms, come into those shopping center, the large buildings that had to, shut down because of Corona stuff. The big box
Mm.
stores. We're starting to have the cheapest gym that, has spread through Texas, called Planet Fitness is coming to my hometown.
Mm.
And
Is
so
that the place where they humiliate you publicly if you make loud noises while you're
yes.
lifting?
I was about to say the exact
Ridiculous.
opposite, but no,
Yeah,
yes, that's exactly it. Is they
yeah,
paint on the wall. It's a no grunt. It's a no grunting zone or something like that.
that's stupid.
Yeah, and they entice people by, like, saying like, back when I had just gotten out of college, I remember looking and it was only $10 a month membership, when you join, but the billboard that they put on the highway, says that they're doing it for only $1 for your first month,
Mm,
and what they're gonna have is just a bunch of in this area, it's typically, Latino women,
mm,
that are gonna go in there and use their treadmills,
yeah,
and that's what the entire gym is gonna be made up of. I've
yeah,
seen it before.
yeah.
It's not gonna be
And
a
if you
surprise to me.
if you commit the sin of actually breaking a sweat on some of the machines, yeah, they're like, oh my God, what a pig! He's sweating all over the
Yeah,
like,
yeah, what a
yeah,
pig.
yeah. Mm. He's
This guy
there with
runs
his
to the gym and runs home.
yeah.
Oh, how
Oh,
stupid.
he's all sweaty when he comes in. That's disgusting. And
I
he's
need a
even
water and a
sweaty.
towel.
Yeah, yeah. He's just there with his like he's there sipping from his big water bottle.
Yeah,
How dare he? Yeah.
need to go to the bar after this.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
of the best things I ever did was, cut down one of the crap trees, and I made little grooves for it to hold a 2x4 so I could do pull-ups in my backyard. That was one of the best things, and so I'm just gonna do things against gravity. I think that that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that's really sort of interesting to me, I've not gotten into it yet, is this guy called Ido Portal. I think he's Israeli or something. He does a lot of like body weight exercises, like handstands and pull-ups and stuff.
Have you ever done a handstand for a long time?
Not for no, not for a very long time. No.
One of my friends, we were out at the lake, and he had been working on his balance really well. Um, and he's a go-getter, and he just did a handstand right in front of me, and he was able to hold it for a really long time. He just stopped doing it after 20 seconds just to show me. I was
I've
really
never been able,
impressed.
yeah, I've never been able to do it like without some kind of a support. Like usually,
Up against
uh,
the wall.
yeah, that's how I've usually done it. I'm a tall guy, and the last time I tried was during my growth spurt, and it really hurts if you land flat on your back trying to
Yep.
do like a handstand.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
If you're not
but
prepared
like
for it.
in my 20s, I was still quite flexible. Like I was talking about this earlier today at work, that I could point my like big toe anywhere where I could touch. Look at you go, man!
It's not a
I
handstand. Like that was a headstand. I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
have the
even
strength in
better.
my hands.
That's even better. Hey, once we stop the live stream, you should try this one exercise that we did back when I was training the Russian martial art thing. I don't know if I've shared any videos in this chat, but you just lie on your back on the floor, really sort of relaxed, and just lift your head from the floor so that you have a little bit of space to move your head. And
Okay.
just keep everything else relaxed and just look to the left and look to the right and do that like maybe 20 times on both sides. And man, you start to feel this burning feeling over here, like on your neck. It's surprising how hard it is just to keep your head up and just move it around a bit.
Huh.
That's actually
Interesting.
good if somebody happens to punch you in the nugget. It helps you to keep your head sort of a bit more stationary, so you don't immediately, black out.
Something that my dad taught me, as far as the the muscles that are connected up the back of your spine and to your shoulders.
Mm.
You can put your hand behind your head here and then pinch the muscle there in your breasts.
Mm.
Pinch that amount and then push backward on this guy as you're pinching.
Yeah.
That was a stretching exercise that he showed me that was really fast. And there was another one. Oh, it was to do this thing. I don't know if I can get it all on cam.
Let's see.
Like you put your arms outward like this, but
Yeah.
behind your back, and then
Yeah.
allow yourself to open up and
Oh
try to
man,
bring your hands
that
together
stretch.
behind you.
That stretch everything like up
Uh-huh.
in the front. Yeah,
Yeah, me
that's
and my
awesome.
dad talk about the problems that we both have, with the same genetics.
Mm.
My dad and my sister both had back surgery in their 30s, and
Oh, oh.
it's just because of like little things. And
Mm.
so like every time I've had something small, I'm just like, I'm not going to allow this to grow on me. Instead, I'm going to work through it.
Yeah.
And that's why I got into yoga. Oh man, he dropped. That's why I got into yoga. That's why I am trying to put empty planes feet to the fire in giving us a yoga routine for the Hex foodies and the Hex community.
I don't know what I did, man.
And he's back.
I just tried to hit the chat to see somebody sent some message, and I tried to open the message, and I completely cocked it up. Sorry, man.
It's all good.
My bad.
That'd be cool if we had like this little graphic that like went and dunked you in a basket or something, and then you grew back out of it.
I don't know if you guys have these technical difficulties things where I don't know, like over here when I was a kid, it was quite common that
Mm.
somebody pressed the wrong button and erased MacGyver completely. So there was no MacGyver, or like I, I remember this because it was like a terrible tragedy in my life. I was like 10 years old or something. Nothing was as cool as like MacGyver was.
And
And
everything's
I
just
remember,
hanging on by a thread,
yeah,
your internet connection.
I remember this one time when when MacGyver came on and everything was fine up until like the first commercials, and then some idiot went and erased the tape or something, and the lady who does the announcements between the show was like, "We're terribly sorry, but there won't be any MacGyver, and we're gonna have to watch some reruns of the Sarajevo Olympics or some stupid shit like that." And that was like absolutely horrible. I still remember it, and I'm pretty sure if I tried, I could find it from YouTube, because I'm not the only one who still suffers from this trauma.
That's
There won't be,
hilarious.
yeah, no more MacGyver. Like that's like I feel like a young guy, but those were the days when like TV shows came on a plane. Somebody put them on a plane in the States, and they and flew them over. So like there was this plane flying. It had like all the like this week's episode of Dallas and MacGyver and whatever, Knight Rider. They all came on a tape. Like imagine how easy it is now. You just hook up a satellite link or something,
Yeah.
or you stream the entire season if you want. You get to watch it in like one go. Yeah, man, it was different back then. Some moron could completely screw your screw your viewing pleasure by erasing the tape. Oh, we're terribly sorry. Somebody erased the tape on the way there. Like they explained it like very sort of like we would have shown it to you otherwise. But there's this one guy, I don't want to say his name, but Andy over there screwed us over.
Wow.
That
I
was
wonder
so
if he got
cool.
some sort of like threats back in the day, but it was like
I don't know. Like
they were
I know
cheesy
where you
ones.
live. Yeah, I know where you live, and
Like,
also
we're
we
gonna
have.
poison your dog, like a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
kid would say.
Like we heard rumors about this one guy whose cousin's dad did all the translation work for, like MacGyver and Knight Rider and whatever. Man, he translates all the new shit, man. He gets to see MacGyver like 2 weeks before anybody else, and
That's
I'm
pretty
like,
fun.
dude, I want to be a translator. That was like my dream profession for most of my childhood, when everybody was like, well, what are you going to do when you grow up? And that was like my go-to answer. I was like, I want to be a translator. I want to translate to Russian. And everybody's like, yeah, that's cool. Nobody speaks Russian, man. Yeah, they do. There's a couple of 100 million people over there on the other side of the border that do.
Right.
Would have been a sweet gig, but yeah, I don't know. Other stuff got in the way. I couldn't keep myself in school for long enough.
Speaking of shows, HEXrayvision made an amazing video of
So
our
funny.
tour. It was
Yeah,
really cool, wasn't it?
yeah,
The way that he narrated it, and it went from one image to the next, and he used a lot of my my photographs that were really high resolution photographs, so you got like a real sense of the grit that was out there. It
yeah.
was really
I
cool.
had no idea that it was so far off, like that you had to
Mhm.
drive for hours on dirt roads to get there. That's like, I would love to have a place like that over here, but we're still like, even though I just bragged about Finland being a big country, it's not that big. Like, yeah, I couldn't find a place like hours away, unless like I bought like some complete wilderness uh, plot of land from up in Lapland.
So prepare with me. I'm gonna go to the map and show, um, show.
Oh man, what handlebars! Now I can clearly
Yeah.
see your. That's freaking awesome. I almost left like these really, because mine go like, I have this like small gap here, but
Yeah.
these guys up here were really doing their best efforts. I was like, maybe I'll leave them and just have like a curve going like that.
And you could pull off the curve.
Yeah, but the missus doesn't. She calls it the humor beard. I like once we were going out for like a dinner and a movie, and we were already pretty in pretty much of a hurry, and she was getting prepared. She wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and we go into the car. I shaved. I left these like really fat sideburns, like they were like hockey stick sideburns, like really fat ones, like muttons. And I shaved my mustache off, and I shaved like shaved my chin from over here. And I hop into the car. She's talking, minding her business, going through her handbag and shit. I'm backing the car out of the driveway and I put it on first gear. We take off, and she looks at me. And I swear, I kid you not, she starts crying. I'm like, oh my God. Like, when you you know you're doing something right when when your beard causes like emotions like this. Like, that's a good ass beard.
So
Yeah,
I,
but
I thought
that's like,
I thought
yeah,
what you
go
were
ahead.
gonna say was that that she didn't want to be seen in public with you,
She
sort of
she
thing, to where
absolutely didn't. Yeah,
she was
we
gonna pull
we
back into the driveway and she's gonna tell you
yeah
to go and cut it off or whatever.
yeah.
Go
No,
trim it.
no, I did it like because yeah, I felt like yeah, it's a bad look to bring like a crying missus to the restaurant. So I was like, okay, would you feel better? I'm just gonna go and quickly trim this off. And she was like, yeah, well, yeah, please do. And I was like, fine. I was gonna trim it a bit anyways once we get home, but yeah,
Yeah, because it's just like a day thing. Like what happens to me is
yeah.
I sometimes I'll go into my bathroom and I'll just like get the urge to be creative, and then
Yeah,
I'll try out like 4 different things, and then in the end
yeah,
I end up shaving everything because
yeah.
I didn't
But
think anything stuck on me.
that's only after you try the Adolf thing.
Oh
But
yeah. Oh
then you're
yeah.
like, oh, okay, everything
Yeah.
has to go because
The the
you
last
can't leave
thing
it.
the
Yeah,
last thing
that's the
is the
last thing.
Adolf thing.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like every time when you sort of decide, okay, it's time for the period to go. I'm gonna freshen up. You try you try all the stupid ones, like you have all the all the landing strips and speed stripes and whatever. As long as you can, you try to. Yeah, I'm
When
sorry,
the
my
Adolf
dog attacked
sticks
me.
when the Adolf sticks, World War III is gonna happen soon.
Yeah, yeah. You know why Adolf had the silly mustache?
No.
It actually
Oh,
had like
did he get
there's
burnt?
a no there's a it has like the functionality was like he was a World War I veteran,
Uh-huh.
and that was the first war where they used mustard gas or any
Mm,
other gases in warfare. And if you had a mustache like this beautiful one, like we do, the mask wouldn't seal against your skin, so
mhm.
you would die. So that's why or it's not just him, but a lot of the guys shaved off the stuff from the side of your mouth to get the gas mask to seal.
Yeah.
Interesting tidbit.
Just the other day, actually yesterday, I was watching some D-Day in color um, video where
Mm,
some of the reporters from around the world, I guess mainly the allies, they were going in to try to get the story as it was happening. So the beaches that they went to, they didn't come onto fire, but it was really, really interesting to see um, the the Britons there on their territory before the invasion happened, because everybody was sitting around for like 5 days. The reporters knew that it was going to happen soon. They just didn't know exactly when. And like the life that they gave these things in color, just awesome.
mm,
You know, it's worth seeing
mm,
once. And then there was some other videos that I saw about 1890s, different cities in the world in the 1890s color. And so like
whoa.
Vienna, London, Paris, um, just just all sorts of interesting European countries.
Yeah, that's gonna be something you're gonna have to share if
Okay.
you have any links. You're gonna have to share it in the chat.
Reggie says that World War III is in the crypto space.
Oh, I actually I
It's going
agree
on
with
right
you,
now, and it's
Richie.
a silent
Yeah,
war.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's
war of
we're
information.
yeah, and we're gonna be dealing and shuffling the cards in a way that nobody expected. Soon they're gonna be like, wow, who would have thought that we actually don't hold the monetary power anymore? Wow, check this out. They don't want to kill each other. How amazing is that? I don't think it's going to be very hard for any Europeans to be egged on to kill other Europeans or for us to attack Americans. Like, nah, nah, not going to happen because we can talk amongst each other. We don't have to read the newspapers to understand what is going on.
When I was working for oil in Houston, I worked beside a lot of Indians and Asians, and most of those Asians were from South Korea. And so I'd bring current events to them and say like, "Oh my gosh, the current events tell us that North Korea and South Korea could like go against each other." And these South Koreans are like, "Nah, like this has only been this way for a small amount of time. We share blood
Mm.
with those people.
Yeah, they're
That's not going to
they're
happen.
they're
That's not how we see
yeah.
each other."
Yeah, they're like cousins and sisters and brothers that have been separated by some other entity. It's not out of their own will.
So Reggie and I met each other this weekend. I went up to HEXTexas Texas's first large Hexican meetup over on the northern side of Dallas
Ovi menee
this
pois.
weekend.
Sorry.
It's all good. And so I am over here. I think you're able to. Are you able to see my cursor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm over here north of Austin, and that's along I-35, our north-south highway that stretches all the way up to Wisconsin. And so I just headed north on I-35 and then had to split it east in this area, and ran up here to a Mediterranean buffet. It was really good to see Hexicans. The guy who put this on, his name's Matt. He's got one of the Hexican shields. So like right when we walked into the restaurant off to the side, we knew what room was ours, the little private conference room, because there was a Hex shield right there. It was great. There were people who were ready to be onboarded. There were people who were true OGs already flexing. It was great to reminisce with them. And Matt was having a lot of urge to create this, get the community stronger before it was that the 555 tour came through town. And this was before a lot of the let's go to London talk had come around. Now I'm finding that a lot of people are going to London, people that I didn't expect to go overseas to London. I thought you had to have a Vax passport for that.
Yeah, probably not. I think they'll
Good.
like check this out. If I want to go to England without anybody giving me any shit, I could just fly to Shenzhen, China, and take a connecting flight from China straight to London and just walk out.
That's how we're seeing Mexico. Is we
Imagine,
can just
like,
go to Mexico and redirect.
If I come from Finland to England, I gotta spend like 5 days there or something. But if I come from China, where these all sorts of interesting things are happening, it's like, yeah, welcome, yeah, we've always had guys from China come over, no problem.
And that's how migration has been here in the States too. It's like, oh, you're from a country that has had some issues. Let's bring you in so you can dilute our culture.
Yeah, we'll give you 400 grand if you feel like you've been upset. That's silly. Yeah.
So the reason why I bring up the map is to show us where in the United States this Utah getaway or this OSR is. And it's interesting. I just got an email from the guy who we were talking to, who keeps me in touch with them. It is. I think HEXrayvision failed to mention that there are Mormons involved in this community, and that they, they'll recruit for Mormonism. Just FYI, that's all.
That's not surprising at all.
Yeah. So I
have to say, I've not been like a terribly religious person. While you're zooming out on the map, I've not been like I said, religious person like in my life ever. But I have to respect anybody who tries to recruit.
Yeah.
Because I feel quite a bit of sort of disrespect for people who call themselves religious but then don't recruit, because that's like you're the only one who knows that we're all standing on a train track, and why are you not telling your friends about it? Even if I disagree with their viewpoints, I would still respect the effort, because that comes from a good place. Anybody who tries to recruit is still trying to save your immortal soul. Why would you be why would you be upset about it?
Yeah, that's a deep, good thought.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so
Just
I was
off topic
trying to I was trying to figure out where it is that this place is, and what town is it that we left our cars and carpooled. So there's this Highway 15 running north and south through Utah. So here's Vegas, and Highway 15 runs out of it. St. George, you go through this what looks like a gorge, I guess. And the mountains, you kind of like get close to the mountains and drive beside the mountains, and Utah is
Didn't it?
so
It
beautiful.
had some. It was close to a city that sounded like quite bizarre, like
I think it was Nephi.
Nephilim, Nephi, yeah,
Yeah.
or Nephi.
I think yeah. I think this one was the closest town.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like where I left my car and then hopped in the car with them.
Mm.
And then after that, we headed west. And then after that, we headed north. And so let's just say these guys were in a valley that was similar to this or this that I'm waving my cursor over. And what happens is the water that does fall in this area sinks into the valley, and
Yeah.
there's just
I
tremendous
would
amount of
actually.
water flow through
I
the
think.
valley
I think that where your cursor is now is probably
underground.
closer. Yeah, that's probably closer where you had your cursor, like
Here,
after this. Yeah,
here.
because yeah, if you think at this area here where your cursor is now, you can see like water features and probably the water would
It
stay
wasn't above.
visible. But once you move over the ridge, there's
It wasn't above ground
yeah,
water. It was
yeah,
below ground water.
yeah. I remember like it had 2 or 3 underground rivers.
Yeah.
So that valley there looks like a good sort of a good option,
So
good guess.
I think it was just 80 feet below the ground. Now, he mentioned, and he really drilled this into my head, and I didn't realize it at the time. The lease, whenever it is that you put in like the 20 grand to hold your 1 acre or 2 acres worth of property in this planned community, it's only a 195-year lease or something like that. What do you think about that?
Well, it depends on what kind of terms your offspring would have to continue the lease. But usually, like 99-year leases on land are not uh, sort of uncommon over here. And if you have leased the land, I think our laws are written in a way that if you've leased the land for 99 years or you live on land that your family has leased, you're the first one who gets to continue the contract if you want to. So 195-year lease seems like a fair deal. Like it's a long time. It's your great grandchildren who get to live on the land still.
I'm trying to bring up the Telegram again.
Yeah.
And we're already at 100, or we're already at a minute 8. So just whenever you want to go, let me know.
Yeah, actually, I think I might have to hop off. We're already a bit past our kids' bedtime, and yeah, I'm hearing all kinds of noises over there. Maybe I'll go and read some bedtime stories.
Cool, man. What do you
Yeah.
what do you put in their brains?
We've been reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I've already read I read The Hobbit when they were like 6 and 7, 5 and 6 year old, and I tried to read Lord of the Rings, but it was too boring for them. So we've been reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and then we
Hey,
have this one Finnish cartoonist who who's done like wonderful stuff regarding like Finnish history and literature, and then he's got other folklore that other folklore stuff that he's done. He's done these books on Viking sagas and all the like tales of Robin Hood and King Arthur and all that stuff. He's like the kids' favorite.
How about I get you to comment on this contribution you put in about how like this next round of food creation?
Yeah, this is like I think I wrote underneath there. It's starting to look like people really need to learn about cover crops in quite a hurry. Yeah.
So one of the YouTubers that I subscribe to, but I don't get in the low vibration of doom and gloom, is a Ice Age farmer, and Ice Age farmers constantly trying to say like, hey, supply chains are this and that is happening to them. Well, now he's saying that people haven't been through Corona, haven't been making fertilizers. And now, since we're on a fertilized intense industry, geared in that direction, and then they refuse to sell the fertilizers if they even have them. Farmers are just sitting there with a broken system, and they're working on a yearly basis. So
so I've heard some really weird news about like the FDA demanding that farmers destroy their crops, or if they don't, they won't get subsidies the next year. Like corn crops left to rot on the fields and all sorts of it's like if we're having food crises, what they're doing to solve the issue really doesn't feel like they're helping a lot. But I can see the food prices going up like at alarming rates over here. And like I said to my mates in this one chat, pretty soon in the near future, we might see a situation where only Hexicans eat steak.
Only Hex can smile anymore.
Yeah, because it's really getting pretty miserable out there. Like, yeah. Coffee, like I buy this one brand of coffee. It just went up 35% in a week.
So that means like at least $4, right? $3.
Yeah, it's now $3. It was like $2 earlier, and now it's like $2.95.
I see. You're buying by the cup down at your favorite shop or something.
No, I mean like it's this small bag. It's got like 250 grams of coffee. It's quite strong, like espresso ground, like this dark roast stuff. Because I'm a special boy, I drink my special coffee. But I've noticed that the regular coffee is like really it's like just going to get stuff for breakfast and like necessities if you happen to run out. That's like 10, 15 euros. Used to be like a $5, and you could get like eggs and a couple of cartons of milk and like yogurt and toast and whatever. You go get a few cartons of milk and eggs, and that's 10 euros. What? Yeah, it's getting crazy expensive.
Just for supplementing, just to make sure that we Hexicans are okay, would you recommend like having 1 month or 3 months worth of canned food?
3 at least.
Food? 3 months. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're sort of we're striving for. I just read that in Estonia they've written a law where they can come and confiscate your family's food. You get to keep what they consider you need for a week, and they get to confiscate everything. That is not sounding very good.
Which country is this?
Estonia.
I
Which
thought
is
they were the ones who were the most libertarian.
yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Their presidents, well, I'll let you Google Estonia's president and her son, and you make up your mind.
Very interesting. So they've been bombarded. The whole
let's
like
say,
freedom
there's a
movement
lot of
was
there's a
replaced
lot
with
of
leaders.
there's a lot of sort of purple-headedness going around over there.
Purple heads. It's it's so funny. I have your voice in my head every time I see somebody with blue hair.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man.
Look, it's
Green
purple
hair
head.
is
And it's
green
always
hair
just
is
a
equally bad.
portion.
Yeah. But yeah, and why is it? It's always like it's bald, like half of it is bald, and it looks like they're thinking about chopping off their ear or something. Hey, it was great talking to you, but I'm gonna have to jump over there.
Thank you
I'm
so
really
much for
sorry I
coming on.
left you hanging, but I came as soon as I could.
And thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'll see you next week.
All right, next week.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye. So we are live every Tuesday at noon, noon Central, United States time. The reason why I brought up the driving with him is because whenever I went to the Hex Foodies, or no, when I went to the HEXTexas meetup there in Dallas this last weekend, it was a great time, but I was paying attention to my odometer, and I reached 200,000 miles on my truck, and it's a really exciting moment. This used to be my grandfather's truck. It's not meant to sit in a warehouse and be polished. Instead, it's meant to be used like a truck in Texas. Get it dirty, keep it dirty, use it out. And so I'm really excited. Congratulations, like a birthday, like a 20-year birthday. You have reached 200,000 miles, young truck. What else did I want to say? So we had two members inside of the Hex Foodies group talk about their diets. One person wanted to come from a side of functional medicine more. Another person is struggling with their diet. And so the idea that was offered was, hey, why not just eat carrot salad? So you could take a grater, a cheese grater? No, a potato peeler. Take that to a carrot. What I've liked to do is just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You could take a carrot to cheese grater. I've done that and put it on my Asian food often whenever I'm making Asian food at the house. But I don't know what I mean. Like, if you are to take a potato peeler to your carrot, then the salad is going to be moist. It's constantly going to be not slimy, but it's going to have the moisture of the carrot in there, and it's going to keep that. It's going to take a long time for it to dry out. It would have to take over a day to dry out on your countertop. And so what I'm getting at is not necessarily would you need any sauce to help that slide down. So I thought that was a pretty good contribution for somebody, like limiting what it is that you put in your body so that you can then have a stance in understanding what's plaguing you. We had somebody named Sissa join our group, and I'm going to say she just wanted to know where to buy Hex. So I said, hey, I'm the creator of this group, so that I have all the admin rights or whatever. All these members are seasoned Hexicans. I could call you personally. I have no problem with that. I've done it before. You could private message me, but we need to make sure that you don't get any bad information or you're not messaged by a scammer. Now, I probably should have said that. Like, hey, I need to make sure that you're not going to get sidetracked by somebody that you think is a good actor and you don't know shit because you haven't been here to all the scams and hex. I mean, you hadn't even bought any hex, so you don't know the scams that could be, the trolls that could be roaming around in here. Scammers, not just trolls, but scammers. So I said hex.com, pulsechain.com, and Richard calls those things on Telegram. You should subscribe to. I gave her the link for the hex group. And then all you have to do is just post a message. As long as you don't trust anyone, you will get the right answer. And then I offered my personal PDF that I keep on my Google Drive. It's a 10-page PDF that gives people an understanding of how I view the space and how I got in. And I had fun too. How I got in, when I got in, not exactly when I got in, but and all the steps on how to get to having your staked hex and being able to just delete your wallet. What I don't describe in my 10-page PDF, because I haven't edited it in a long time, is how you can download the Staker app, just put in your address, so passively use the Staker app as a window to watch your portfolio. And if you haven't heard it from anyone, I think the best onboarding way of doing anything is first stake for 5555. That way it's done. You're locked in to the current interest rate going forward. You don't have to look back and say, what if? The only what ifs are, do I want to put more in for shorter stakes in creating a staking ladder? But that person is able to take that 5555 stake and type their MetaMask wallet into the Staker app and watch their portfolio and start to watch the Hex market cap, chart, their portfolio climbing or going through the waves that we've experienced. After this wave, people are going to be either patting themselves on the back or punching themselves in the face. And it's going to be a lot of fun. What's up, bro? Finnbear brought me here. Awesome. HexyBastard. HexyBastard. Hey, you got a song with that? You want to come on? Still going at it. Reggie Bones calling out Finn. In case you're watching this in the future, here's proof that I'm offering the link to whomever. We just had, let's see, we've been going on for almost an hour and 30 minutes now, so I'll be going very soon. But we do this every Tuesday at noon Central, USA. No song yet, but I've got an idea for one later. Good deal. If anybody would like to make some stuff up for Hex Foodies, I would totally entertain it. Reggie, I know you got some beats. I know you got some beats ideas. I know you got some. Shoot, I've always wanted to be a person that gives my input on some beats, because I am a designer of sorts, and I may not understand like how music goes together, but I do believe that compositions share a common thread, which is the golden rule type thing. I think I devoured everything here in the chat. So here at Hex Foodies, we try to focus on a lifestyle for the future of Hexicans, and it's really summed up with Finnbear's image here. Is we care about children, the future, families, organic food, self-sufficiency, back to nature lifestyles. We do understand that the city evolved the way that it did. It has its place. It just allowed us to understand and experience more. And just like just like the town I went to college in, I recognized that I didn't want to live there ever again. And so you need to have experiences, and you need to make decisions. And as long as you're the one that's making the decisions, then you are better off because of it, because you have taken this. Now, if you go and you work for somebody else, then there's a high chance that you'll be doing stuff against your own interest, and you'll be wasting time. And we Hexicans know time is very, very valuable. Let me read some of these other comments. HexyBastard back again. Is it open for people to jump in? If so, I can hop in for 5 or 10. Yes, it is. If you're going soon, no worries. Come on another time. No, come on. I'll post it again. Show your face. Get your, let's see. Make sure that you have, or try to have a headset so that I'm not going to hear your echo come back in. That's really my only requirement. But since it's only me and you, then it won't be as hectic as if we had like 5 people. Have you joined our Telegram group, HexyBastard? Can you make our number go from 68 to 69? Am I able to search members? Do you have the same profile pic? Shout out to Wales Only. He mentioned us a while back in one of the groups, and we really appreciate his contributions to the entire Hex Nation, the entire cryptic Hex Nation, cryptic Nation, Crypto Nation. Okay, so you're extending the amount of time that I need to sit here and blow smoke up my own. I'm not going to light up on stream if that's what you want me to do. Get so bored. No, I really appreciate everybody who's watching right now. And I really want people to go and check out HEXrayvision's video that he created about our get-together. We went to the middle of Utah at this OSR community. They've got plenty of water underneath the ground and plenty of land to spread out onto. And they have a community that's organized to where they can all work together and share the amount of income when they work together. It's a ways out there, as what Finnbear was recognizing. But I'm biased because it's just kind of fun being a lead role on this, but I don't ever talk to the camera. It's always still frame shots whenever I'm on. And I love this one shot where he and Rogue Herbalist are on top of a foundation where you can see all the bones that it takes to have a thermally insulated dwelling out there. You have to have some thick walls. That wind comes through that valley and probably freezes everything. I don't know how they're gonna okay, so my idea for these folks was for them to put a berm around their entire lot. And I'm thinking that everybody needs to put berms around their lot to break up the wind coming across their lot. Because really, if you tried to put any ground cover there, it would just blow away. So they need some undulations of some sort. Excuse me. So whenever I was looking at someone's like 2-acre plot, I was talking about how if I was to consult them, I would recommend that. And maybe it is that you could take from your plot and to build your plot instead of going and grabbing land from somewhere else and starting to build up your plot. The community had a license so that they could grow hemp. So hopefully they're each able to grow hemp on their own site, not only over there in the designated community crop fields off to the side where we actually saw the hemp growing. I had something else to say about how I would prepare that land. But yeah, I just think that, because whenever it is, hey, HexyBastard, what's going on, man?
Hey, man. How's it going? Can you hear me all right?
Good, yeah, really well.
Nice. I just seen Michael Long posted your thing in the Hex UK chat and just clicked on. I thought I'd come say hi. I just started to stream myself recently a few weeks ago. So yeah, always looking to connect with new guys.
So hey, are you weekly?
I don't know. I have one weekly thing, and then I'm just doing like random streams in between. But I host a UK hangout every Sunday. It's now every Sunday, just at 8 p.m. where I just have a Telegram call with the Hex UK group, and people can just jump in and we talk about loads of random shit, to be honest. But mostly Hex. But then usually the last hour or two get kind of weird because we just talk conspiracies and things like that. So it's good fun. I see, Michael Lung, yeah.
So Finnbear,
Finnbear, that's the one.
Yeah, he really caught on whenever it was that we were announcing that this group was going to be formed. And the idea to the group is to have a healthy lifestyle, understand sourcing and growing organic food, and let's see if we can get some Hexicans on some land of their own so that, the land and their improvements to the land isn't sold out from under them. We've had a lot of people experience that here in the States where you're going around and you're learning things and you're joining communities, and then maybe that community doesn't work out, and then you just feel like all of your time, your investment is lost.
Yep. That kind of, the world is obviously, I don't want to go full blown, new world order on you, but it's getting a bit weird out there, lately. So I'm all about that. I mean, I was going to ask you. I got a little bit of a gist about what you're doing here. So you're all about sustainability and things like that. You want to talk?
Yeah.
Because I'm so new to the channel. I literally stumbled across you a couple of minutes ago, and I thought, oh, hey, another Hex channel. I want to hear about it. So,
Well, hey, there's you send a link over to your Hexcellence as well. Your Hexcellence, if you would like to join in, just click on that link.
I would love it if you would. I feel like she maybe won't though. I would love it if you would.
So
I've been trying to get her on the UK Hangout. Needed to tell her story.
So your Hexcellence, let's see, you can join via just a smartphone. You don't have to have a computer and a setup and everything. The best thing though is that you have some sort of earbuds, because otherwise your audio will come to you, to your ears, but it'll also come back into your microphone. Lol, I'm a Hexican behind the scenes.
She does a lot of work behind the scenes. Big shout out to her. Big shout out to her. She's the admin of one of the admins of the UK group. I think it was her who created it actually. But yeah, so when Richard announced he was going to do the UK meetup like a month and a half ago or something like that, obviously that got a little bit of a buzz going.
Yeah,
we're very lucky that we're here, you know, because don't know whether he'll come to the States again one day. You know, I guess are you from the States? Are you? Yeah,
Texas. Yes.
Yeah, you're from Texas. Yeah, cool. So yeah, I mean, hopefully he does come over your way, but you know, he must reside somewhere within or near Europe, so it's easier for him with all the travel restrictions and all these things these days.
So are you going to the London? Have you already gotten your ticket?
I am very happy to say I am going. Yes.
Cool.
Shout out, Jeff.
I'm jealous. I went to Vegas, but I just don't think that I'm going to make it to London. I was thinking that I was going to have to like play with the vaccine passport idea in order to get over there.
Maybe DM Kinetics, because he's been talking about he's trying to find some way around it. I don't know what he's doing. He won't talk about it on air, obviously, but
I love the morning show. I absolutely love Markable and Boner in the same place together. I think that's just fun. And so I always watch the Wake Up with Hex, and today he said that for sure he was going. So that makes me really jealous, because I know that he's just north of me somewhere up in our plains. He's either in Wyoming or Dakotas.
What was the Hex Vegas thing like? I bet that was fun, right?
It was a lot of fun, yeah. So we have some Hexicans over in Vegas, and they worked with Matty Allen and a lot of the other guys who were rising to leadership, and they just put on this awesome event where we would just these few days where we would just migrate from one place to another and occupy the little side rooms of restaurants or the main stage of restaurants. It was really great to, for the first time, really meet other people who, you know, who were your co-parts in this creation, you know, this fraternity that we're creating, basically. And it was I was a bit shy. Like the first time, whenever I got to the hotel, I took a picture of my clothing on my body and said, "Hey, I'm hanging out near the pool," and somebody made fun of me by it. You know, like, "Oh, you're not even show your face." It's just like no one else is showing their face yet. Like everybody's a little bit shy.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, I'm kind of shy as well. And I think when people meet me in real life, they'll see that. I was getting on here. It takes a lot of balls getting on YouTube, man. You're signing yourself up for potentially some bad comments and stuff like that. You got thick skin. But in real life, I mean, I'm happy to meet people and stuff like that. But I'm the same as you, really. I don't really show my face properly on stream. I usually wear maybe like this hat or something. You know, I usually wear a silly hat, and I'm always got the shades on, just because I don't want like random people who scroll past the videos to somehow recognize me in real life or something. You know, so.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
try and keep it a little bit anonymous, but it's not really. Oh, nice hat, bro.
I typically wear this hat. It was gifted to me by Casey. Shout out to Casey. In one of the
Nice.
lobbies of the hotels
What
in
is he
Vegas.
the guy that was giving out all the t-shirts and stuff? I heard about someone.
He was mainly giving out hats, I think. He had
Okay.
he had multiple hats, gray version and this white version. And then back then everybody was afraid of using the exact Hex logo. So you see it's altered a little bit.
Yeah. It looks great, man. Looks great.
Thanks. Yeah.
I just heard a story about one guy who came down, who brought like a huge box of t-shirts and was just giving them out to everyone, like, hey, have a Hex t-shirt, you know. And I find that stuff so cool, and that's what I like about this community as well, is the people that have made it, they're so quick to like give back and help out and put, you know, their own gains back into it to try and get more gains. And you know, there's people who've been in from the beginning who still buy, still dollar cost averaging now, even though they've already like got more money than they can probably spend. They're just still buying because they just want to support the system and keep it going and stuff. So I love all of that, man.
There's every type of individual inside of the Hex community. And so if we can, you know, like give work inside the Hex community to each other, I think that would be great. You know, like this designer gets with this developer, gets with this architect, you know, and really put things together. I mean, Richard's definitely doing that himself. He's able to analyze all the people that he has at his fingertips, you know, paid and unpaid.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of volunteers in there. You know, there's people in like Hex Design who just make designs for, you know, YouTubers and stuff like that for free. They just do it because they like to help. And there's like musicians and artists and all sorts, man. All sorts. Shout out Gavin, by the way. I didn't realize you were stalking me, bro. So you need to do a better job, mate.
Gavin, nice name.
Yeah,
nice name. My name's Davin, quite close to that. Yeah, Davin. My dad's middle name was David, so he thought Davin was a pretty good name for a boy.
I mean, I don't know how much it gets used over your ways, but I don't know any Davins over here. So
yeah, I've met like 2 in my life, and so it's a pretty unique name, and then people remember it, you know. Hey, Gavin, please go out to the Telegram group, especially since you could be a resource for us to learn from. Telegram group, Hex Foodies. Please join it. So that's t.me/Hex Foodies. We've been around since right after Vegas, and thanks to people like HEXrayvision with the idea of organizing this sort of thing. And then that's when Finnbear came forward and was just like, heck yeah, I love this idea. So what else did you want to talk about?
Are you on Twitter? Hex Foodies. Where can I find you on there, just in case I'm not following you?
So let's see. Do you see my screen name? That's ecobuild_Davin_Texas.
Ecobuild_Davin.
That's
yeah. I already follow you. Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I got a head that's floating in hex colors. Hex gradient.
Yeah. Everyone go follow that. If anyone is in the chat from my end as well, just make sure you hit the like and sub and stuff. You know, we've got everyone support each other. And that's really what I'm about as well. I mean, I don't know if I have like any special skill particularly. I like what you're doing with the sustainability and stuff. I think that's going to become ever more increasingly relevant as time goes on, if the governments get their way and stuff like that. So being able to live off the land yourself is something I'm definitely interested in. I'll get myself in that chat room as well. Michael Lung, aka Finnbear's in my conspiracy group. He's the admin in there, and he's got an iron fist, and I love it.
Yeah, I made him an admin very early on, and I know that that you know he's a great guard dog.
Yeah, he looks after that group for me, man. I'm letting him take it. I might even make him owner in there actually, just for a laugh, because he's a good egg. He's a good egg.
Passed it on.
So the other hat. Where is my other hat? The other hat that I'm like more known for is one of them big Ushanka hats with the big flappy ears. You know which ones I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I haven't got it with me right now, but one time, I think it was the second UK hangout, because he jumped in the first one, not in the call, but just was in the chat, and then I started talking to him that week. And then at the right at the beginning of the UK hangout, he jumped in and he started doing a video call, and it was just a video of him, and he was like, "Hey, Hexy, I just wanted to show you my hat." I loved it, man. He's such a cool guy. I love it. Shout out Archie, legend, mate.
I got to brag about my hat. I've got a
that's
a
nice.
hard hat because we're reconstructing society, you know?
Yeah. I like that. So. I like your haircut as well, by the way, dude. That's a nice haircut.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Reconstructing society. So.
So are you trying to live off the land like where you are now then, or is that where you're? So
I'm a conspiracy theorist as well. Back in 2012,
for you.
Let's see. Straight out of college, I started working for oil to make money. I did that for 3 years in Houston, which is a huge oil town and economic town for Texas. And then I straight up quit my job in 2012. You don't get any like severance pay or anything like that whenever you honestly quit and leave. And so in February 2012, I came back to my hometown and started doing things on the ground. And I helped establish 2 community gardens while I was living with some friends, and then moved out on my own and did architecture consulting. And I did that for like 7 years or so. Living in this place, this small place near my downtown, in a historic downtown. And so I've got about 0.1 acre that I am now turning into a luscious food garden, food forest, where you're just like putting tons of trees, tons of seeds, make sure that it's all fertile, make sure that the land has a good amount of water flow across it, or seeping into it. So you're just doing the responsible things with your waste and your resources. And so I'm doing as much as I can with the 0.1 acre. So what does that look like? Maybe instead of having a tree grow outward, maybe you pin that tree up to a fence line, and you actually control the growth of it. Or you just have you capture a lot of the rainwater off the top of your roof, and you put it to absolute designated areas. So you basically just treat the outside of your house on 0.1 acre. You treat the outside of your house like it is your like all of it is your kitchen garden right outside your kitchen door. And in the permaculture realm, you would actually have multiple zones. As you go further away from your house, you would visit those places less often. So you'd have different uses for those. And in the first place, your house site would be selected from the beginning, knowing what the future intent of the property is. But really, you need to live on a piece of property for a year in order to understand what's actually happening on the property before you even start to make improvements. Like maybe you make improvements to the interior to make it more comfortable for yourself or your family, whoever's with you. I'm a single individual, so I've had what do you call it? It's been a lot more easier for me than it has for other people. I make up my one mind and do something rather than having to consult so many others, and then also having to battle other people's energy. Like I visit friends who have children, and I often get caught up in the child's games and stuff, but I realize that I use a lot of energy whenever it is that I entertain them. And I see that my friends kind of like ignore their kids, you know, in order to preserve their energy, but yet give them enough love still.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's true. I've got a little kid myself, and sometimes I don't realize, but I am ignoring him a little bit. So yeah, I mean, obviously you love him, but you're right. People only have so much effort that they can. Well, not even effort, but yeah, energy. Energy is a good word for it. Just where you can put that in and and keep doing it, you know, before you get knackered. So yeah, being single is not that bad at all, mate. For what you're trying to do as well, like you got the world at your feet as well, being in Hex, mate. You could literally find like some absolute amazing person, don't sell for less. Literally. Yeah, so that's cool. Well,
you've brought a lot of people in here. I really appreciate
good. More people need to come. So the people that are in here, thank you, but go share the link even more. Let's get some more in here, man. How many have we got now?
We've got
I see 8 on the...
We had 9 just a second ago.
Nice.
So all you folks, if you're interested in organic food and having land of your own and getting back to the land sort of ideas, please join us at the Hex Foodies Telegram group. And then also what's on the screen straight ahead is HEXrayvision's review number 1 well, it's just one of our site visits is the best way I can describe that.
Yeah, man. I think you're going to get a lot of people interested in this in the long run in Hex because, well, I know, for example, I've been watching this guy. I can't remember his name, but he's my friend, the Doc. Some of these guys will know who that is. He told me to watch him, and he's a guy who bought a little bit of land up in Wales, and he's basically building a house out of the land there and everything. And he's like really good with woodwork, and he's built like a massive frame, and he uses like clay and all the wood, and I'll have to send you a link to him. I'll find him later. I mean, to be fair, if I click just literally that, I might see a video by him. Oh yeah, his name is Chris Harbour Nature Building.
Throw it in the Telegram chat.
Yeah, I will do. He's really cool. He's really cool.
I love it when people are using mud, when they're using cob to build. And,
yeah, cob. Yeah, that's what he's using, cob, yeah.
And if you're in any sort of wet environment, you'll need a roof for that. And then so the folks out in the dry areas of the United States, they're often recobbing over the top of their dome structures in those drier environments. They'll do that every 3 years or so. It's mandatory. And you can build all sorts of things out of cob. And it's right there in the ground beneath your feet. And you know, it's like being in school, making stuff with clay, like little figurines. Just sit there and work on it and work on it and work on it, and it continues to change and mold into something that you respect. And being able to look back on that and what successes or failures you had. Once again, you're making choices. You're going forward. So Archie S, you're over in a flat and you're wanting to grow your own. There's ways that you can grow on a balcony. There's ways that you could start a community garden. You could get in touch with aquaponics people in the area and figure out how you could grow indoors. You might even be able to join a movement where people are creating aquaponics situations inside of warehouses. That's how the food for restaurants for cities is going to be done in the coming years, most likely.
That's cool. Yeah, London problems.
London problems. What are some, like, you guys doing okay over there?
Yeah. Things aren't too bad. Like if you're on about the bullshit scandal that's going on. Yeah, things aren't too bad for that over here.
Like, are you being chased back to your house if you go and protest?
Oh yeah, God. I mean, they don't like that. They don't like that. Oh, I was part of all of that for a bit, but I think what these guys are alluding to is just the fact that property prices in London are so fucking expensive. Even if you're a Hexican, you can barely afford a flat. So it's pretty bad over there. But yeah, it's just a very crowded city, so property is super expensive. And most people do just live in flats down in London. Not many people have houses. I mean, it depends where. If you're in like central London, it's mostly flats, to be honest. They're all massive houses that have been converted into flats. My sister has one down there. Well, she used to have one down there anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of guys. Thanks for the subs, guys. Go and share the stream as well, man. Let's get this out there. I'm a big advocate for like anyone who's trying to stream, just whatever you're doing. I just really want to get the word out, because within Hex, that, like you say, there's all sorts of people and the communities all cross over in different ways. Like I am interested in what you're doing for sure, because I know that's my plan. As soon as I've got gains, I'm going and buying a bit of land and I'm building a house on it, and I want to do that as like sort of sustainably and cheaply as possible. I want to use like the materials around me as much as I can and things like that. So that's my dream, basically. And then once I sort that out, I'm going to go change the world and make the world a better place. But I just need home first, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Inside of the Hex Foodies Telegram group, I have some pinned messages. And inside of those pinned messages, you'll find that one of them's a poll. And I'm asking people, are you staying in the same place where you have connections and influences? Or are you trying to make it out in a new place on your own? And it's about 50-50. I was really surprised. But that's so lovely that you know, the people who are staying in their place, you know, let's history books will have it to tell you that like things are so freaking bad with these waves and stuff. And truthfully, I bet if people who are really connected to their community were to write about the situations, they'd be like, you know, it was just outside factors trying to pressure us this way or that. And we were able to make do with what we had.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me on that one, because I mean, it depends if my little boy comes with or not, really. If my little boy's with me, then yeah, I could relocate, but I wouldn't really want to move him away from everyone else. And plus, obviously, I've got other family and stuff as well. But honestly, like if I can, I definitely by the time he's grown up, I'll be relocating. I don't want to stay here. I don't think I want to move somewhere where the taxes are almost zero. Or at least I can get around them or whatever, you know.
There are some folks in Texas talking about how, like, if the United States does not respect the state of Texas, then we will need to push towards seceding from the Union. And when they talk about that, then they talk about, well, we'd have a more efficient, smaller nation, and we wouldn't have property taxes, which was really the goal from the beginning. You know, let's not lie to ourselves about government's intentions and stuff. Hey, what do you think about? Never mind, I won't go there. I was about to say, what do you think about the War of 1812? Your ancestry and my ancestry. No, back then, my
I don't
ancestry
even know anything about it. Yours. Was that in America? Yeah.
Yeah. War of 1812 was whenever.
Is it the Civil War?
No. War of 1812 was after we got the British to leave the United States. They came back and wanted to renew the bank loan, and we were like, no, we don't want your bank. But I'm pretty sure we ended up getting cold into the banking situation anyway.
I heard a bit of a I can't remember exactly how it links up, so I won't be able to give details, but there is a conspiracy about like the Crown still owning the Federal Reserve somehow, or you know.
Well, I know that what is it, Andrew Trudeau over there in Canada?
Yeah,
I have a video of him swearing in, and whenever he swears in, he swears allegiance to the Queen, because the Queen is the largest landowner of all, Canada.
I think like there's levels, right? So the Queen, the Crown, is high up on the pyramid, but they are not the top. There's people above them as well. We don't have to go there now. We've got HEXpiracy for all of that shit if you guys want to hear about
that. Yeah, what Telegram group is that?
It's t.me/HEXspiracy, as in conspiracy, just with hex instead of con. But,
cool.
Yeah, we talk weird stuff in there, man. Like, and most of my streams just end up going that way anyway, depending on who I'm with. But obviously the burning one, the elephant in the room, other than the bullshit one for the last 18 months, is the banking and like how much they're leveraging up. And surely one day that's gonna have to pop, right?
That's why I came back to town in 2012. Shit hadn't happened yet. You know, they just maneuver the way that it benefits them. And so
Yeah.
like we're always waiting for what we think is obvious to happen, but really it's like this 5-stage compounding thing that then makes it to where like, oh, you know, I can't do that stuff anymore. Like they'll just shut down an industry, all the people leave, all the ideas leave. And it's like, okay, well, there's no rejuvenating that system. But really there is. When you go back to doing things with your hands, with your family, in the land, God isn't lying. There are truths on this piece of land that you can play with and live a good life. And so we've all been we've all had like temptations of the city. And whenever you get into the city, yeah, you have more at your fingertips, but you may lose perspective of what all had to happen to bring all this stuff to your fingertips. And dare I say, you might be more likely to sin.
Yeah, guess so. But I mean, I sort of grew up in like a regular size city, not a big city, but like big enough to be like a city. So I don't have any real experience of like being out in the middle of nowhere. But I just feel like that's really what I want.
Yeah,
no neighbors, just no one.
just right up this way, I've got a British guy that's on a green card or a visa. I guess they're both the same right now. And he's dating or is engaged to a Latino girl. And
oof, lovely.
yeah. And so I'm pretty sure that like his relation with her is keeping it to where he can stay here in the States. And he and other people that I met from the oil industry in Houston both tell me that like Texas, like we should be really fond of Texas or really happy to have Texas. You can drive miles and miles and miles and not see other things. As I understand it, you guys over there in the UK, you kind of all feel like a little bit crammed these days.
We're basically stacked on top of each other over here, like.
and then on top of that, land ownership. If you were to like negotiate your way into owning land, it's really cumbersome, is it not?
I mean, people can totally own it and stuff. There's a lot of taxes and things like that. I've only just really started looking into it recently, so I couldn't shed too much light on it. But land isn't that expensive over here, weirdly enough, considering how little of it there is. But it's planning permission that's difficult to get, I believe. So it's okay buying the land, but most of the time you can't do anything with the land. You just have to leave it or let it sit, and it's kind of like an investment, like a long-term one. It's sort of hard to get through on it sometimes. But house prices over here are very expensive. I mean, the wages to house, I was talking about it earlier to someone, just like the house prices to wage ratio over here is really shit. People need like maybe, I think the average price for a deposit based on like a 25% mortgage or something like that is £48,000. But the average person, like the livable wage over here is 24,000. Most people don't really earn more than like 25 to 30,000. So you need like 3 full years salary or more to. No, that's not even correct math. But yeah, you need like, yeah, because after taxes and shit as well, you do get taxed like quite a bit over here, depending on how much you earn. So yeah, it's not easy to get a house. Like I remember my people from like my mum's generation used to brag about how easy it was to buy a house. Like they could literally just get like a few £100 together, and then there's a deposit, and they could just move in, and it was just super easy. But now it's just it's very difficult. My cat wants to jump on me. Come on.
But those houses, was there a difference between what was in the countryside and what was in the city? Most of those houses were only in the city.
Yeah, like the way that England is, it's weird. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat purring, by the way. She's kind of close to the mic.
It's all good.
Yeah, in the countryside, it's always more expensive. It's always been that way. So those figures I gave you there were based off just like averages. So if you go out, it's going to be like far above the average normally because there's much less of it. But so like that kind of price would be based on like, I don't know, a fairly small 3-bedroom house. Because another thing you guys don't realize as well is like you guys are used to having massive houses, aren't you, over there? You got so much space, so you just build huge houses. Like I know a lot of people who've been to, I've never been to America, but I know people who've been there, and they say like the houses and the buildings and everything are just massive because you guys have got so much land, so it's much more spread out. Over here we have a lot of small houses, and I mean like there's 2 rooms downstairs and there's 2 rooms upstairs, and that is a house.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be like hundreds of them stacked, you know, it's estates and stuff like that. Sometimes they're a little bit bigger, but pretty small houses over here. So I think we just naturally were kind of cramped up anyway. But yeah,
well, maybe more efficient. Like things that we've done down here in Texas is we've just thrown all caution of maintenance to the wind. And so like we have these large houses, and now no one wants to buy them because it takes so much energy to heat them and cool them all the time. So like your electricity bill is $1,000. It's absurd. Oof. Yeah. And so like you'll make this. So there, we have real estate agents who are dumbasses. They don't understand anything about architecture. And so they think that 2 houses that have completely different types of construction are worth the same amount of money because they have the same square footage. So you have like people skimming off the top financially whenever they're building the house, making it full of worse materials that won't last but like 15 years, and you have to reside the entire house. So we've got all sorts of weird things going on. I wanted to address, Finnbear asked me to explain the difference between sustainability and regenerative like agriculture and life practices. And
yeah, go for it.
So I've got this this YouTube series basically going that's what is sustainable, and when we are sustainable, then what? And because sustainable is the word that's being used a lot, instead we hex foodies are recognizing that our bodies are regenerative. And so let's actually tap into that capability of analyzing the land, making it to where the land can be regenerative, and analyzing our body and make it to where our body can flourish, and meaning regenerative, rather than just sustainable, where sustainable is like often just, we think about like an entire community recycling. So that there's some thoughts to get us to get people going until we see them again next week.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. Gavin had a good comment there as well, saying that the Amazon tribes are probably happier. I like this. This is funny.
Yeah, I do too. When I was in Houston, again, working for oil, I used to tell my manager, who I freaking hated, I'm the richest man in Houston. And it was because I had my mind in a certain place, and my life projection was going in a certain direction, and I wasn't going to allow anyone to tell me otherwise. And here I am. I'm freaking happy. I'm amongst all the people that are my peers. Yeah, things are finally starting to look the way that I wanted them to, but I always knew in my mind that I was rich and I was capable. And
It's a
that's
frame of mind, isn't it?
that's
I
what
feel
we
like
need.
I made that move this year as well myself. Like I
Everything is
changed
a
my
frame of
mindset.
mind.
Yeah.
Everything is, whether you're annoyed today or not. I mean, that's just a frame of mind. You allowing to get into you. Like I basically go through like 4 different types of positions toward my day, and as I get to know myself more, I recognize, okay, where's my stance today? And I just have to deal with myself. You know, it's just another tool working on the world. But yeah. So back in the day, I just decided that I'm going to focus on truths, and the truth that I recognized was the better the quality food that I put in my body, the better thoughts that came out the other side. And that's something that has gotten me into studying permaculture, which is a establishment of an ecosystem so that the human being can uh, take from it. So it's a self-rendering ecosystem that continues to promote and generate itself. And then the human being, because the human being's the architect that's overseeing it, knows that they can take from the system and not harm it, and live a bliss life. And so that's called permaculture. That was brought
Do you know
to
what?
us.
I like that. I like that. That term. It kind of sounds a bit like never selling your principle.
Ooh, so yeah, if you go to the Hex foodies Telegram group, then I did a file. No, it was an image. I compared hex steaks to farming, and it's kind of along the lines of that. Come on, Gavin, find it.
Your Hexicans just said that it's true about like the whole Monday blues thing is a frame of mind also, and I agree with that as well, because I used to, you know, if you hate your job anyway, you're gonna have a bad time. Like you got to learn to not hate the stuff that you're doing. You just got to learn to get on with it and forget about it, and just try and put your mind elsewhere when you're doing it. You know, because if you feel shitty about it, you're gonna. But yeah, right. Let's have a look at this then.
Well, in a lot of instances, I hope that you can use your spare time to investigate the areas where you actually want to go, and then save up your money, make the divide for good, and make it to where you now have to live into the space that you created for yourself for your new life.
Yeah.
So this, I mean, that's what I did. And Hex really came to help me out. But this is, but if I didn't have the ups and downs, then I wouldn't be well composed, you know. So we actually need all these challenges in order to make us a better person.
Absolutely.
And so it's almost like we should be thanking all of the things that are in the world that we have to watch out for making us better. Just
You're gonna
like
be late for work.
I'm gonna be late.
It's all right.
I'm not saying anything. So I do need to leave in 5 minutes, but
that's fine. Yeah, sure.
This kind of like blends in with the bit of like, if anything bad happens to you, it gives you the opportunity to show who you really are in a hard time. So how, like, I had a blowout on the highway the other day, and I was with my girlfriend, and you know, it's just analyze what you have. Okay, I do have a tire to replace it. Yes, I was smart enough to get the higher level jack so that I wouldn't have some stupid thing that could fall apart on the side of the road while cars are zooming by. Just get this thing done. Times I know that I could have a better example than changing a flat tire, but You get the point. The reason why I brought up this hex farming thing was because I wanted to show people in the farming community what hex is like whenever you're staking it and harvesting from it. Just like it's like farming. I wanted to tie these analogies together, like sew them in to people's minds, because a lot of folks, whenever they look at hex, they're like, okay, well, what gives it its value? And they give some hard questions of both, like, why should I get into cryptocurrency? And also, what is your particular coin? Because everybody's telling me about their coins, you know? So, so I was trying to weave these two ideas together. And then down there at the bottom, I stopped listing numbers and started putting question marks, because you could go and put, you could go and do whatever you want at those stages. You could swap out, or you could hold. Yeah. So Monday blues, that's totally a real thing. And I was thinking the other day, like, it's really cool to have these live streams on Tuesdays, because it like boosts you into the hump, and then you get over the hump so much easier on Wednesday. And then like before I know it, it's Friday, and I'm looking forward to what everybody's energy is on Saturday.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on with me, dude.
I just saw combine harvesters with a hex logo harvesting corn.
Dude,
Love it. Just
saw
before I
that in
go,
your
I'll
head,
just show
Gavin?
you my cat, if that's all
Oh
right.
yeah, yeah.
There's my
kitty
cat.
time.
Kitty
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, nice one, man. I'll join you again sometime. Feel free to come on my show as well. It's on Sunday evenings in the UK. Might be like earlier in the day for you or later in the day. I'm not sure. I can't remember if you...
Is it YouTube or Telegram?
So we're on YouTube, but the call's in Telegram, but we can just do a regular stream on my channel if you want, just like this.
Okay, cool.
I need to set StreamYard up. I really do. Like, how much is it, bro? Can I just ask for the
$25 a month?
Oh, fuck.
So that's costing. It's basically.
I mean, it's not like that
20,
much, I know, but go on.
I think it's basically like $7 per stream for me. You know.
Okay, yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
I'm buying coffee twice today. That sort of thing.
Nice. All right, pleasure meeting you, man. I'll speak to you in the chat at some point.
That sounds wonderful. Thanks so much for coming on. Thank you so much for bringing the link to all these other folks. And
yeah, we did a mini raid for you. I thought we'd get like 20 people in there, to be honest, but no, unlucky. I just got them at a bad time. They're all busy having their dinner or something.
Plus, we are a little bit of a niche, you know, like some people
sure.
might have some ideas about, oh, these greenies, these tree huggers and stuff. We like to make things with our hands. We like to do things ourselves, and we believe that we believe in liberty here, you know.
Yeah. I'm all about that, man. I'm all about
that.
Cool. All right, man. Take care. Nice meeting you.
Cheers.
Catch you soon. Cheers.
Thank you so much. All right. I need to get on to some things. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. We'll see you next week, and hopefully there will be more faces and less Gavin talking. Wear your hex gear. We all have one very glorious thing in common. Bye now.